Video game Flash Fiction is a timed writing game that will begin when I press this button right here. And then we're going to go ahead to continue the game by selecting one of these Atari 2600 cartridges, slotting it into the console, and within this time writing an original, intellectual property-free Flash Fiction story, and to read it at the end. Let's go ahead and select the row of this. From top to bottom, 1 to 6, it is a 5. So we have the 5th row and then column 4. Well, okay. Since there's 6 rows and I rolled a 5 and this is the 4th column, maybe under a different name, this is a telegames called Breakaway. Yeah, Breakaway 4. Although the name's on here. Hopefully I can maybe hold along still. Okay, and then, it's got a typical sort of cover right there. Okay. I have a feeling this will be maybe a renamed Breakout. Let's see. Oh, you know what that means? I should have read the instructions on the cartridge. I think I need my paddles. Use the standard paddle controllers. So that would be the 2 paddles. Oh, fantastic. We get to experience the Atari 2600 swapping out of... That's the single paddle. I want the single paddle. I said paddles. There's the paddles. Let's make sure I don't mess up the entire stage just because I got to switch out some paddles. The joystick for paddles. And yes, it does kind of look like Breakout. This has happened before, and I kind of suspicious when I purchased this game that it would be. It looks like it. I may have even done some research on it when I purchased it, but it doesn't matter. It's now going to be a story. Breakaway 4? Like, I was unaware there was a Breakaway 3 or a 2 or even a 1. Let's put the joystick back over here. And we want to paddle a thing and not joy a thing. Whatever the hell. Alright, let's try to do this in some orderly fashion. Pretty sure it still goes back. Hold on. Here. Well, that went a little bit smoother than I imagined. And I have the time still. And I have the book, on sale somewheres. Video Game Flash Fiction Sports. I'm about to get the digital version out. Video Game Flash Fiction Homebrew Revolution. Should be out in 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and play this game, though, of Breakaway 4. Oh, you better work. Okay. Okay, this is Breakout. But named under a different telegames thing, maybe? Which one do I use? Not this one. Wait, maybe it is. Oh, come on now. Oh, it is this one. Okay. Such gripping sounds, too. And evidently I can only do it so much. Let's try that again. This is what they're calling Breakaway, which is Breakout under a different name. Whoa there. There we go. Yeah, this is like Breakaway or Breakout. Instead, it's called Breakaway. Maybe it just has more versions. I don't know. It's probably just a rebranding when it was distributed by Sears. Like the OEM, the Atari Sears OEM version of it. Let's call it something else. Whoa, there. Oh, there. I don't know. Like Breakaway. That's so witty. Breakaway 4, too, has to be the name of the story. So what, I think, well, I know, because I wrote the story. In fact, the story in here, the first video game flash fiction book has Breakout. And that is about a leprechaun trying to break out of tradition of, I think, destroying rainbows. Because this is, I mean, it's got the rainbow colors there. That's awesome. But it's Breakaway. It's not Breakout. That leprechaun was breaking out from the tradition and didn't mind if the humans found the pot of gold because gold was just a worthless metal. And only humans really liked it. Because leprechauns got frickin' magic, if I'm at least following both my real lore versus my Dungeons and Dragons TSR lore. And the lore that I know the best, they're magical. So, which is Dungeons and Dragons. TSR versions of worlds. All right, so yeah, this has got to be a story. I don't know. Breakaway. Yeah. There's a ball, there's a plane, and there's a wall of rainbow. And I can only write one leprechaun. Maybe it's a sequel. Maybe it could be my first sequel. Or at least accompanying story. Why not? I mean, basically, this is Breakout relabeled. And probably, yeah. It's not even like, didn't they have like a super Breakout? I think they did. I think that one was very similar, just more colorful. And I think I did that with like the person was a musician. I don't have that published in a book yet. If ever I will. Probably not, because I think the story was garbage. This story is going to be, absolutely, let's do that. It's going to be a sequel to story in here, Breakout. It's going to be Breakaway 4, and maybe it'll be about the person who braked out from the controlling leprechauns that wanted to destroy rainbows, so the humans couldn't find the pot of gold because they wanted the gold for themselves. But let's see, hold on, let me look at this. Oh, Breakout isn't about the middle. No, it's right. It's the third story. Wow. Must have thought it was good. It's been a minute, though. Breakout. What's the leprechaun's name? Yeah. Clover. Clover the leprechaun. Clover's leprechaun militia training to join the leprechaun rainbow destroyers and gold protectors pleases her mom and teaches her basic leprechaun skills like shape-shifting, levitation. Okay. Clover. Clover's now a parent. Game says nothing about me, or anyone for that matter, using other ideas to help them along their flash fiction story, as long as it's an entire story within it. And you don't have to read this. This is like just hopefully a standalone. It's my hopes and dreams for all these stories. Though sometimes in like probably Breakout, there was editing. So let's do that. That's what it's going to be about. Let's make this fun. Because writing about leprechauns is more fun than writing about war. because I do that too much anyway. Or at least politics. Although I'm sure that'll write its way in here somehow. My nature. Breakaway 4. Let's play the game again. I'm gonna have a sip of some liquids here. Some nice coffee. Let's go ahead and reset this game. And this controller, not to complain about the controller, but you got a good craftsman always blames the tools. I guess I'm not really a good craftsman when it comes to playing the Atari anymore. All right, let's press the button and go. Oh, come on now. Yeah, this handle, is old like me and doesn't react as quick as it used to, likely, because although it's kind of sensitive. Like, I think that's actually the problem for me on this handle, is that I got a slow, I'm expecting big swipes to move this thing, but it's really just, you gotta I think it needs a good cleaning too, because I'm dead, or not alive, or I haven't breakaway. So, Clover. I know what it is. Clover's daughter. Or let's roll for gender. 1, 2 female, 3, 4 male, 5, 6 they. It is gonna be a male. Roll to 4. Gendered male. Okay. And Clover, I believe I don't know. Clover's Clover. Clover's had a kid. And what's his name? Root? Something flower-like. But if I were naming people after sort of floral ideas, I suppose. I mean, they're just, Clover is pretty generic. Dandelion, maybe. Lilac. Okay, lilac. I don't know if that's how you spell lilac, but I should look that up because it's going to be lilac. I don't want to think about that too much. Oh, maybe lilac. Maybe I did. I don't know. Well, hey, it is that. Thank you, search and return engine, for at least confirming something, and I can move on. So lilac disappoints his mother, Clover. Anytime. Yeah, this would be like the opposite. I think Lilac wants to join the leprechaun. Let me get this book out so I can at least remember the leprechaun, rainbow destroyers, and gold protectors. Let's make sure I can write that down. Let's put that right there. The leprechaun. Gonna spell that leprechaun. Leprechaun gold protectors. And rainbow destroyers. And that would be like the breakaway. Like in the other one, it felt like they were breaking out because they were going against tradition. And this is breaking away when they kind of want to break away from their parents' path and maybe go back to some tradition about destroying rainbows. That's why they don't last that long. in their world at least. So Lilac disappointed his mother, Clover, anytime leprechaun gold protectors and rainbow destroyers. Okay, this is going to be at a exhibition or a game or a tournament. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So Clover, that's where I could put this, so I can at least have a constraint about and have like these emotions of maybe, I don't know if I'm going to go first person, but I'll definitely make sure the head hopping happens in here, and at least we'll focus on Clover for a bit. They're going to be at a breakout game of break. I think I called it. I still think I still call it Breakout. What did I call it? Clover's dad shapeshifted into a, yeah. See, Clover's dad died too, protecting pots of gold that really don't, they're kind of intrinsically worth something. But that's about it. We put this trust in this metal. We've said it's this value, and so have the leprechauns. Magic dry ball. That's right. So I gotta think. A magic dry ball is the rectangle warmer bouncer. Whoa, man, what the fudge, dude? Where was my mind at? The magic dry ball. What is the name of this game? I guess it wasn't a game though. Like it was more of like the tryouts and the training, but I'm gonna gamify it. And so I just got to remember rectangle warmer ball. The rainbow wall. Okay. Rectangle. Well, I'm going to say this. Rectangle. It's a magic dry ball. Whoa, wait a second. Oh, the warmer bouncer. That's right. The rectangle warmer bouncer. Yeah. So I got to do rectangle warmer bouncer magic dry ball. That's the components. So let me just make notes of that. I think I can make this its own story too. And I got time, so I just got to do magic dry ball. And the rectangle, well, this is the way I guess you can audit your own logic. Warmer rectangle bouncer. So it warms the magic dry ball to go destroy the rainbow by taking all the water away, drying out the area, so that rainbow does not point to their pot of gold. Yeah. I don't know. It was militia training in that story. I think it's now like just the way society is. And so I don't necessarily have to harken back like that this was more of a military training than a militia training to destroy rainbows, to protect their gold and their lands because the rainbows pointed to them. And it's gone now, mainstream culture. So there's a sport now. So you can train your kids in a different context to still destroy rainbows, to protect your gold. And then we play the game. And this would be Lilac. And I think they have to move this with their mind. It's the rectangle warmer bouncer. And I think maybe Lilac's so good that it can do more than just the rectangle bouncing. The magic dry ball. Drying up the rainbow. As the warmer bouncer dries the magic dry ball and warms it up too. So it's sort of, man, it's a game. I guess another, like, I remember on the arcade, yeah, there were those when I existed there time ago. They had the ones, arcades with the roller ball on it, and man, I sucked at those games. There were some people that, that's the game for them, and they were able to roller ball either your shooter on the bottom or your rectangle bouncer. If memory serves, and sometimes it doesn't, it serves up false memories and lies, or at least my version of the memory. I would call it a lie. Call it perception, maybe. Lilac disappointed his mother, Clover. Anytime. Okay, so let's not even. What's the name of the game? I don't think I want to. I'm going to leave this here as backstory. And I got the two things that the rectangle warmer balancer, and they can do magic. I got an hour and 9 minutes. I wouldn't be disappointed. The leprechaun Clover. Should we do it present tense? Because that's what I'm thinking. The leprechaun Clover. So lilac. Let's see, the leprechaun Clover. Sits in the where would you if you were, I can't remember. I mean, I had this like underground. And like most leprechauns, they got magic. They can hide. That's why you don't see them. They can turn into rocks. At least in this world of Clover. Maybe they watch from creek. Yes. Sits on a rock, on a boulder, watching her son, Lilac, walk at the edge of the river shore. On rocks and boulders. I want to make sure that there's a lot of people around. So the leprechaun Clover sits with hundreds of leprechauns. On rocks and boulders. Above a river's wash bed. Watching Clover's son stand at the edge of the river. And like I gotta think of like what's the conflict other than the game? Clover wants her son to lose. Lilac spell-like ability. Yes. Lilac's spell-like ability. Natural ability to move objects. Ability to move objects with thought and focus. And teleport to a known place when frightened. She believes the Rainbow game if Lilac wins, the Rainbow or the Breakaway. I'm not going to call it Breakaway. Breakaway 4. I don't know what the 4 stands for though. Maybe it is. Maybe that's why it's called Breakaway. It's also the name of the game, and then it could be like breaking away from your parents' desires of you. Let's do that. Let's go back. Whoa, how many words don't I have? Watching her son Lilac stand at the edge of the riverbed and see a rainbow grow from a pot of gold through the mist. Again, the last and final, the fourth and final of Breakaway. Oh, that's who it's going to be. Tournament, sponsored by the Leprechaun, Gold Protectors, and Rainbow Destroyers. And I should know how to spell Leprechaun. No disrespect to leprechauns, but I just got to move on. I'm going to try every time, and I'm going to think that's wrong, and that's okay. I mean, like I see studying Gold Protectors and Rainbow Destroyers. Sometimes it's more important to get the word out than think of the right one. And Rainbow Destroyers. Let's not say sponsored. A breakaway tournament created. Let's do this. Let's play real quick. There we go. There we go. Oh. I like moving my head with the ball. Gotta keep your head still so you can aim the oh, come on now. Oh, fudge you. Let's do this. The final round of the Leprechaun and Gold Protectors. The fourth and final round of the Leprechauns, Gold Protectors, and Rainbow Destroyers. Breakaway tournament. All right. Clover wants her son to lose the game, so he'll focus more on the studying. Okay. Clover won the first 3 matches. 10-1. 10-. I'm just using the numbers I'm seeing up here and splitting them up into something that's, let's say 10-0 and 10-9. Not Clover, Lilac. Clover was the other story. Clover's all growing up. Lilac. Won the first 3 matches 10-1, 10-6, and 10-5. His opponent, guided. He now needs to guide the rectangle brick warmer. I can name it something else. Something cooler. Something because it's now like part of the system. Something like yeah. The rectangle ball, the rec ball worm. The rec ball. Oh. The rectangle ball warmer. He now needs to guide the rectangle ball warmer to bounce back. He now needs to guide the rectangle ball warmer to refract the ball warmer. Oh man, my mind's getting lost in trying to, like, I'm writing the story as I would if you had read the other one, and I can't do that. But let's keep going. Lilac won the first 3 matches 10-1, 10-0, 10-5. Now needs to guide the rectangle ball warmer to bounce the magic dry ball. At the rainbow spreading from the riverbed to dry the rainbow from the sky and hide the pot of gold. The green breakaway. Let's use the train. Excuse me. The leprechaun, gold protectors, and rainbow destroyers break away the militia. And rainbow destroyers. He now needs to guide the rectangle ball warmer to bounce the magic dry ball at the rainbow spreading from the river to dry the rainbow and dry the rainbow. I'm going to put a so there. I feel like this narrative can have a so. I won't like cringe. I mean, you have leprechauns, you got to kind of relax your grammar rules and your narrative a little bit, maybe. So the magic dry ball dries the rainbow from the sky and hides the pot of gold. Clover knows the game the tournament is propaganda and training to recruit leprechauns. I don't know how to spell leprechauns, but to join the leprechaun gold, the militia. And rainbow. Okay, so Clover wants her son to lose the game, so he'll focus more on studying linear algebra and physics. What is it? The leprechaun. It's just I don't want to have to write. I've already got it written once here. University. I hope I can do this within Flash Fiction word lengths. University. University. There we go. I should play it again. What time did I got? 50 minutes? Yeah, I can do it. Could have some gameplay. We'll get in there though. Got to give it reason why. Build up the conflict. Maybe they do get in there. I don't know if there's unlikely. I got to keep my head straight. Get good posture. I'm starting to adjust to the paddles. Sensitive nature. I don't think I'd ever be able to become one with this paddle. Maybe. Lots of practice. I could just be like the Zen. I'm getting better. Oh, come on now. And there's my game. I did not break away. She believes if Lilac wins the tournament, it'll accept a free scholarship to the Leprechaun Gold Protectors at Rainbow Destroyers University and join the ranks of the militia and die like her father died, protecting worthless gold. Clover looks around at the gold adorned leprechauns. Leprechauns? I don't know. That's how I'm spelling it right now. Mumbles, who needs... I don't mumble. I have a lot of characters that do a lot of mumbling, I think, lately. Let's not have them mumble. Let me question out loud. As the rainbow maker fully forms excuse me. Sometimes that happens and I just got to go with it. I don't want to refrain. The tension of holding back a yawn sometimes sucks. I feel so disappointed afterwards too. Clover looks at the gold-adorned leprechauns and questions out loud as the rainbow maker fully forms the breakaway rainbow. Who cares about gold when you have magic? Excuse me. I'm gonna have her mumble. Because she's still gonna cheer her and her son. Leprechauns, questions. Clover looks at with the mumble. I'm going to move this. I'm not going to have all that action. I'm going to have that action begin the next sentence. Whereas, let's just, I don't want to rewrite it because it's a lot of words. I want to move, maybe. I don't need to move it. I just can do this. And then do this. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Let's get rid of that. Well, let's go ahead and copy it first. Make sure. Mumble, boom. Who cares about gold when you have magic? The rainbow maker. I mean, yeah. Who cares about gold when you have magic? I wouldn't. Hell. I'd give up all my money for magic. I get to pick the spells though. Clover wants, and that'd probably be the rub or whatever. Not the rub. I don't know what the hell that means anyway. That'd probably be the line item in the contract that you'd have to adhere to. You'd have to like lose something. There's never free magic. Magic's not free, I suppose. If magic existed, we'd all find a way to make sure only certain people could cast magic. And then they'd make all the gold and call gold important, and we'd all want the gold. Who cares about gold when you have magic? The rainbow maker, the leprechauns, the crowd. Let's just go the crowd on boulders and rocks rising around the riverbed. It cheers as the rainbow maker fully forms the breakaway rainbow. And this is where the mom kicks in as Clover shouts, "You go, Lilac." Let's know. What do they say? Let's know. I'm going to use like a lot of, maybe I'll say like the "Let's Go," which is a popular sports chant, came from leprechauns. I'm going to go, "You go." I'll make up my own leprechaun chant. Clover stands as Lilac raises his arms and closes his eyes, pressing his life force through from his body like an aura. I think this is, I have aura. I'm just gonna go there. An aura that glows around the rectangle. I mean, I guess technically it could be a square. Because I'm only seeing the top of it, right? I'm just making assumptions. Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, it could be a two-dimensional square. It looks like a rectangle if you're looking from it above, because but if this was 3 dimensions, I suppose it's still going to be, if you observe it two-dimensionally, a rectangle. It's from up to down, from above. But before, it could be a square. I mean, I guess what is rectangle is a square, but a square isn't always a rectangle. Man, let's get math. That's really fun. People just love reading stories about math. I do. Some people do. But maybe I can have a romantasy math story or something like that. Some submissive mathematician has to prove to the dominant math professor some aquatic linear algebra equation to, blah, blah, blah. Let's think of Lilac. Raises his arms and closes his eyes, pressing his life force from his body and aura. Body and around the rectangle. I'm just going to call it the rectangle warmer bouncer, because that's just tradition. They always were looking from there. Everyone's looking from above anyway. Like a hug, and lifts the bouncer from the sandy pebbles near the river shore. How did the magic dry ball work? Like, you'd almost like, someone's gonna have to toss the magic dry ball. It's gonna have to be a fellow Clover stands. You go, Lilac. Still gonna cheer on your sibling. You're not your siblings. You're still gonna your children. I guess I have a reason why Clover doesn't want it. It's defined in that story. It's a single sentence in here. I think that'll at least show that she doesn't want them to become part of the militia. The leprechaun militia to protect the gold. Clover stands. You go, Lilac. And Lilac watches Sergeant Millens throw the magic dry ball at Lilac. And follows the dry ball arc, seeing both their magic. This is where I'll put the linear algebra. Gonna make a prediction where this lands, or that'd be, yeah. I mean, sure. If you knew all the stuff, and equates an equation. I just put an equation so that sounds too stupid today. Not right now. I mean, more. Let's just say more. It's an increasing thing and not necessarily something that just happens once a day. It's just the amount of stupid that happens. Lilac watches Sergeant Millens throw the magic dry ball at the Lilac. Well, you know, I should put some big uppercase words right here. At Lilac, and follows the dry ball's arch, not like an arc or an arc of electricity or an arc to put things in, an arch. Seeing both their magic shimmer and guide the rectangle to bounce the ball at the rainbow, but also sees the equation in their mind to predict where the ball will hit and reflect back. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this magically held dry ball. Yeah. Lots of tension feeling right now. I got 35 minutes. I don't know how I'm going to end this. I think I got enough words. What do I have up here, though? Because I think they're going to... Let's put this. They got to score all 10. And they do. They're going to win. Ten. His opponent Mincy scored 9. Okay. I think I'm going to just do a quick Lilac. Lilac's good. Lilac's going to tie the game. Lilac stands still and fills the river, the rainbow, the mist. Calculates and fine-tunes their magic with the math to align, to set and move the rectangle at angles to hit the ball back to the rainbow, making it slowly fade. The crowd cheers. And stand around lilac, around clover, thrusting arms and shouting, "Let's go! Let's go, lilac!" Clover feels a rush of joy and fear as the rainbow fades, and the score of the game reaches 9, tying with Smitty. Smitty? I'm going to call it just go Smitty. Let's at least find the name. Okay. Clover feels a runs of joy, feels a rush, a joy burst, and a fear drop. Let's do some movement. I like joy burst. I mean, instead of a burst of joy, a joy burst, a fear drop. As the rainbows in the score of the game reaches 9, tying with Smitty. The crowd cheers and stands around Clover's thrust. The crowd cheers and stands around Clover. They clap and cheer, and a few thrust arms and shout. Let's go, lilac! Clover feels a joy burst and a fear drop as the rainbow fades and the score of the game reaches 9, tying with Smitty. Clover fears humans will kill. Fears the dangers of gold and the loss of lilac to a worthless metal. A worthless tradition. For a worthless metal. That's fun. She watches, and then we can have it. She watches the magic dry ball fly at the last time I'll do this. So let's just use that one. And horror pops her mind. Pops her mind, knowing. And horror pops her mind, knowing her son's magic and math will never miss that ball. The ball flies past the rectangle and into the open hand of Lilac. Militia professor shouts, "I found the gold!" Because that's how you'd end the game. If they found the gold, you lose. To call an end. Clover stands and fears they'll take both. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe like Lilac is this is Lilac's protest. Let's play the game one more time. Maybe Lilac's really just making a statement. I'm gonna nope. And I like move my head, and when I move my head, guess what? It's harder for me to like set my aim. I mean, I guess I get a lot of these sort of magic dry balls in my rectangle warmer bouncer, so I can dehydrate the water and get rid of the rainbow and hide the pot of gold. Because those pesky humans are going to want the pot of gold. Militia professor shouts, "I found gold," to call an end to the tie game. That could be a shout, though. How's it going to end? The crowd stands with Clover. Who I don't know how to end this. Let me think here. The crowd stands with Clover, wondering who will win the breakaway tournament. The militia professors. The militia professors huddle near the river shore, talking. Whispering to each other as they debate the winner. Lilac shouts, "Gold is worthless." We all lose protecting gold. Clover smiles. And shouts from the quiet. The crowd quiets, and the huddle of judges look at Lilac. Clover smiles and shouts, "Let's go! Let's go, Lilac." Maybe I should drop an F-bomb. I'll drop an F-bomb on the recording. Maybe I can just drop one F-bomb. Let's go for it. Lilac. Let's fucking go, Lilac. I like that. It's got to be there. I know. And that's the story. Kind of fun. Let's read it. I got 20 minutes left. I got my breakaway. Let's get some water. Maybe play the game one more time. It's definitely Breakout. Relabeled. Actually, let's do this. I mean, there's not even that many, like... Whoa. That's kind of different. Like, is that harder, though? Like, honestly, in a way, it's a little easier. Because I can follow only the ball. It's like playing Pong, but your opponent is a wall that appears. Oh, come on now. It's like level 4 with one player. One more. One more. I think I got more points than I have in the past. Oh, come on. I guess the speeding up part. I'll have to make it harder. All right, let's read this game. There's no sound effects in the background today to be able to highlight the words, but that's okay. Hopefully they read. Let's find out. For today's video game flash fiction story, inspired by a game labeled and called Breakaway 4. Breakaway 4. The leprechaun Clover sits with hundreds of leprechauns on rocks and boulders above the river's washbed, watching her son Lilac stand at the edge of the riverbed and see a rainbow from a pot of gold through the mist, ready to begin the fourth and final round of the leprechauns, gold protectors, and rainbow destroyers breakaway tournament. Lilac won the first 3 matches 10-1, 10-0, and 10-5. His opponent, Mincy, scored 9, and now he needs to guide the rectangle ball warmer to bounce the magic dry ball at the rainbow spreading from the river, so the magic dry ball drives the rainbow from the sky and hides the pot of gold. Clover knows the recruitment and propaganda and training. The tournament is propaganda and training to recruit leprechauns to join the Leprechaun Gold Protectors and Rainbow Destroyers militia and destroy rainbows, which is something that Clover loves. She loves rainbows. Clover wants her son to lose the game, so he'll focus more on studying linear algebra and physics to further craft Lilac's natural ability to move objects with thought and focus and teleport to a known place when frightened. She believes if Lilac wins the tournament that he'll accept a free scholarship to the Leprechaun Gold Protectors and Rainbow Destroyers University and join the ranks of the militia and die like her father died protecting worthless gold. Clover looks at the gold-adorned leprechauns and questions with a mumble, who cares about gold when you have magic? The crowd on the boulders and rocks rising around the riverbed cheers as the Rainbow Maker fully forms the rainbow, breakaway rainbow. Lilac raises his arms and closes his eyes, pressing his life force from his body and around the rectangle warmer bouncer like a hug, and lifts the bouncer from the sandy pebbles on the river shore. Clover stands. You go, Lilac! Lilac watches Sergeant Millens throw the magic dry ball at Lilac and follows the dry ball's arc, seeing both their magical shimmer and guide the rectangle to bounce the ball at the rainbow, but also sees the equation in their mind to predict where the ball will and reflect back to the magical held dry ball and the rainbow. Lilac stands still and feels the river, the rainbow, the mist, and the fine-tunes their magic with the math to set and move the rectangle at angles to hit the ball back to the rainbow, making it slowly fade. The crowd cheers and stands around Clover. They clap and cheer, a few thrust arms and shout, "Let's go, Lilac!" Clover feels a joy burst and a fear drop as rainbows fade and the score of the game reaches 9, tying with Smitty. Clover fears the dangers of gold and the loss of Lilac to a worthless tradition and a worthless medal. She watches the magic dry ball fly at the rectangle warmer bouncer, and horror pops her mind, knowing her son's magic and math will never miss that ball. The ball flies past the rectangle and in the palm of Lilac. The militia professor shouts, "I found gold!" to call an end to the tie game. The crowd stands with Clover, wondering who will win the breakaway tournament. The militia professors huddle near the river shore, whispering about a tie to each other as they debate winner. Lilac shouts, "Gold is worthless! We all lose protecting gold!" The crowd quiets, and the huddled judges look at Lilac. Clover smiles and shouts from the rocks and the stands, "Let's fucking go, Lilac!" That was Breakaway 4. Yeah, sometimes you have to drop the F-bomb once in a while. And as a parent who's watched games, I can totally understand the enthusiasm. And let's go. So let's add this story. Let's write this story. And let's call an end to the video game Flash Fiction. For today. But there's always tomorrow. And there's always the next day. As long as you want to write and find a way, the words will be there.